Good morning, everyone. I think it's about 1 minute until 9 o'clock Central Time. I apologize for not putting that on my post earlier. I had to correct that. I tend to forget that people are looking into the show all over the country, so sorry about that. So we're going to get started in about a minute. I have to tell you, it's been quite an eventful week in the Shrallow household. Dale and I actually moved from a small little apartment that we were renting temporarily into our new home in Illinois, Northbrook, Illinois. And we had to move during this awful time in our history. It was quite stressful, but we're in and we're safe and we're here and we're very happy. So, phew, glad that's done. Anyway, today I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're going to cook, and also tell you a funny story. So let me start with a funny story first. So last Saturday, when we were moving in, my hairdresser contacted me and she said, "Sherry, I ordered you some hair dye that you can apply yourself." So I picked it up, she dropped it off, and we kept our distance, and I got it from my friend who she left it with. And guess who did my hair? Dale. Dale, my husband Dale, turns out to be a famous hairdresser. He got those roots so covered, I mean, I don't know how much better he could have done. So if anybody is in need of his services, call Dale. He'll be happy to assist you, at least on the phone. Okay, so let's get started. Today we're going to make one of my favorite burgers. It's an artichoke, spinach, cauliflower, and bean burger. Now, I want to show you all of the things I've prepped for this burger. This is the key to making burgers. Get everything pre-measured. Right here, if you can hone in on these things, Dale. Get everything measured, so all you have to do is basically assemble these burgers. So this is what we do. You're going to need a food processor, which I'm going to use. Okay, we take 15 ounces of great northern beans. These are just ones I got in the can. They're organic. I rinsed them and drained them, and they go into our food processor. Next, we add 1/2 cup of rolled oats, and then 3/4 cups of spinach, and I chopped it up a little because this is a very old food processor, and sometimes it doesn't have all the power it needs, so I'm helping it out. And then it calls for 5 to 6 artichoke hearts. Again, I rinsed and drained these, and I love artichokes, so there may be a few more than 6, but we're going to throw them in. Next, we're going to put in our spice blend, which consists of salt, black pepper, cayenne pepper, Italian herb blend, onion powder, and cumin powder. So let me evenly distribute this into my mix here. And I used, instead of using flax seeds, I put chia seeds in this one. I usually use flax seeds, but I have so many chia seeds, I figured let's try it with the chia seeds. Those seeds hold the burgers together. It's like an egg binder. So that's what we substitute instead of eggs. We put in chia seeds or flax seeds. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to add some garlic, and I put in 4 cloves of garlic that I just chopped up a little bit. If you have a good food processor, you can put them in whole. And then I have, I believe, 1/3 cup of white onion. You can use white or red onion, whatever you have at home. So that's phase 1. So I'm going to put my lid on. And we want the beans to be not mushy. You can still have little pieces of the beans, but pretty blended. So let's let this go for a minute. Okay, let me check it. And I'll just push the rest of this back down in here. It needs a little bit more blending, so we'll let it go for a little bit longer. think that's perfect. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. Whoops, there we go. That's what it looks like. So it's not too mushy. You can still see pieces of the beans, a little bit of spinach. Then I take this and I'm going to transfer this over to this big bowl over here. We're going to use the processor again, but you don't have to wash it. Doesn't matter because all of this is going together. So let's put this lovely mixture. You can see the little spinach color in there, a little bit of green. My grandson actually loves these burgers. I made them several years ago for him, and I remember I took a picture of him. He was just loving it. So now we're going to go back to the food processor. You just put this back together. There we go. Put this back on the base. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is I have a mixture here of lemon juice, spicy brown mustard, and nutritional yeast. And this recipe, by the way, is all on my post saying that we're having a Facebook Live today, so you can read it yourself and you'll have it today. So we'll take this, and I just combined all of them. It's like a little paste, and I'm going to throw this in next. There we go. Very good. And then I'm going to just mix that in till it's nice and combined. I like the spicy brown mustard because I like things that have a little kick to them. These burgers are so good that I don't even put them on bread. I just eat them plain. And they're even better the second day when they're cold. All right. The last thing that we have to do is take 1/3 cup of chopped carrots and 3/4 cups of small cauliflower florets. Now I keep cauliflower leftovers in my freezer, so I just pulled them out and I measured out the amounts that we need. We're going to just blend these just a little bit in the food processor. Here we go. This doesn't take long, and again, you don't have to clean it out, so it's very easy. What would be helpful is if I put the blade in, though. That we forgot. Nothing's happening without the blade. So let's see if we can get that in. Yep, okay. Nope, I'm going to have to do one more step. Hold on, folks. Okay, let me get a bowl. Oh boy. This is what happens when you go live. Let's take this off and throw this stuff in here for me so I can get my blade in. Okay, let's see if that'll work. Yep, okay. Cooking is always an adventure. Sometimes you forget to do things. I forget quite often. Right, Jeff?
Right.
Okay, now we can try and blend them. And this you want to get sort of fine because you don't want big hunks of carrot. Once you do all the chopping, this is really simple. That's perfect. Let me show you what that looks like. We're going to put this into our big bowl. Okay. Here we go. In they go. And I love the color that the carrots give. And they give such a lovely, nice, sweet taste to the dish. So let's get them all. Okay. Then I'm going to mix these in, and we're almost there. The hard part for me was just prepping all this stuff, but you know what? I think in about 20 minutes, it took about 20 minutes to get it all prepped up, so everything was ready to go. It's so worth it. Now, I usually make a double batch of these because you can freeze these and put them in your freezer and take them out one at a time. You can grill them or bake them. They're fabulous. The last thing we're going to do is put in some chickpea flour. So for those of you who have gluten sensitivity, this is a great substitute instead of using a flour. It's chickpea flour. Throw that in. And you can also use gluten-free oats, so it makes it 100% gluten-free for those of you who have that sensitivity. Can you see how nice and thick it's getting? Oh yeah, that is done. Now my hands have been washed 1,000 times this morning, so I will be able to use them. Now let me show you how we make these burgers. My good friend Karen Cornick turned me on to this little burger press, which looks like this. I bought it on Amazon. It was very inexpensive, and I got these little pieces of parchment paper to go with it. So I took some water here, because these are sticky, these burgers. So I'm going to wet my hands. I'm going to take a little bit of this mixture into my hand. I'm going to put this little paper here. So if you were freezing them, you would just put it in like that. Take another piece of paper on top of it and just press it down. Now you don't need this, of course. You can just make these in your hand, these burgers. But look how cute, look. See, it's hiding in there. You've got a perfectly shaped burger. You could put it into your freezer like that and stack them up. But in our household, nothing really has to go in the freezer, especially if it's a single batch. We'll just eat these. So I'm going to make these for tonight. So let me show you how we're going to do that. You get another paper out. You get a baking sheet and line it with parchment paper. And then I take a little bit of mixture. I would say like, a little ball this big. Put it into my press. And I can reuse this paper now, so we're not going to have to waste it. And I'm going to make a burger. And I sort of like these sort of thin. I think they taste better, but look how pretty they come out. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so we continue to do that. Let's see how many we can get out of this mixture. I'm sort of curious. I think I get about, I don't know, let's see, maybe 6 to 8 burgers, which is pretty nice. Okay. And again, when you make them thin, you get more. So we just press down, take that out, and we continue like that until we've used it all up. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about while we're doing this is something called arugula. Let me bring this over here. Dale, if you can get a picture of that. I want to talk to you about why I eat arugula on a daily basis. So there are many choices. Thanks, Dale, that's good. There are many choices of greens and lettuces that you can make. But what makes arugula so special? Well, I consider it to be a super green, and I'll tell you why. Because they are full of micronutrients. So let me tell you a little bit about what's in arugula. It's high in beta-carotene, vitamin C, folate, vitamin K, and magnesium. 2 cups of this arugula provide you with 20% of your body's daily vitamin A needs, 50% of vitamin K needs, and 8% each of vitamin C, folate, and calcium. This is a really, really healthy green. So try and add that into your diet if you can. It's wonderful. Okay, so while I'm doing this too, I usually talk about heart disease because I had heart disease and almost died from it almost 10 years ago now. But I want to talk to you a little bit about eating a plant-based diet and cancer. So Dale, if you could show that book there. And can you tell everyone what the name of that book is?
The name of the book is Beyond Cancer by Sally Lipsky.
Right. Now, Sally Lipsky has a PhD in education. She had late-stage ovarian cancer, and we know that that is one of the cancers that unfortunately takes so many lives of so many women. But Sally changed to a whole food plant-based diet, and she writes about her experience in doing that in the book and how she survived this type of cancer. And I highly recommend this book. She writes it as an educator would. It's very easy to read, it's very instructive, and gives wonderful tips on how to do this, and very non-judgmental as well. She realizes, as I do, that if you're trying to eat healthier, that it's a process. It's not something that you have to do 100% from the very beginning. Of course not. What you have to do is be aware of the benefits of doing this, and then ease into it as you can. And I'm here to help anyone, as you know, who's interested in doing that. We at Plant-Based Nutrition Movement are dedicated to helping people transition to this way of eating because we want you to have the best possible life and avoid a lot of the chronic diseases like cancer and heart disease, diabetes, some autoimmune diseases. It's all very possible, and it's all based on science, not based on opinion. So how are we doing here? We've got 7 already. Wow, I think we're gonna have, let's see how many we're gonna have here. We've got quite a few here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we have 9 burgers. I didn't realize it would make that many. I think when you use the press, like I said, you get more burgers out of it. So this is great. So what I'll do is I'll put this one, I'll pretend I'm gonna freeze this one. We'll do that little freezer thing. And then I'll just put that one in here. Okay, so I want to thank everybody for joining me today for my Facebook Live in my new kitchen. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope that you'll try these burgers maybe tonight. Any questions from anyone?
No questions.
Can you tell me who's on? Have you seen names of anyone?
Karen Bender.
Hi, Karen.
And Randy Warshaw-Cahotis.
Randy,
Carol
hello.
Lazaruk.
Carol.
Lisa Bell.
Hi, Lisa.
I'm sure I can see some of the other names.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Dear friends are on. Nice to see everybody. It's good to spend some time with you all. Again, share this with anyone you know so that they might be able to try these burgers.
Someone was asking where the recipe is. You mentioned that earlier.
Yes, the recipe is on my announcement that I'll be doing this Facebook Live. If you go back to that announcement on my Facebook page, you'll see it. It's there in full, as well as a picture of what they look like.
We got Alana Kapinski's on, Mary
Yes.
Jo Wenkus,
Hi, Alana. Hi, Mary
Roseanne
Jo.
Cupuro, hope I pronounced
Hi,
that
Roseanne.
correctly. I guess the question is, how do you cook them?
Oh, I forgot to say that. Excellent. Okay, so what I do is I will take this tray and I like to put it in the refrigerator for a little while until they get nice and cold. Then I take them out and I bake them in the oven. And I think, let me look at what the temperature is, if we can just back up here. So we bake them at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. And then you flip them over and bake them for another 15. Now when they're skinny like this, don't bake them that long, watch them. So if you see they're getting nice and brown, don't let them get too cooked because you don't want them to be, too hard to eat. So just watch them.
Any more questions from our viewers? Let's wait a second.
Okay. Everybody's good?
I think that's it.
Okay. Have a wonderful day, and we'll be back with some more fabulous plant-based dishes soon. Have a great day.